Hello everyone. We're going to be solving an equation in this video involving a triple angle for tangent. So the way we approach problems of this type is we first want to find the restrictions on the values of 3x and solve the equation for 3x first, and then we can quickly get the solutions for x. So let's go ahead and divide both sides by 7 to make this look somewhat simpler first. So we have tangent of 3x equals 7 over 7, which is 1. Now we know that we're supposed to look for x between 0 and 2 pi. So if we want to know where we should look for 3x, we're going to multiply all three parts of this three-part inequality by 3. 3 times 0 is 0, 3 times x is 3x, and 3 times 2 pi gives us 6 pi. So basically what this says is I can go around the circle 3 times looking for values of 3x whose tangent is 1. So as I start looking around the circle, I know the first place the tangent is 1 is right here because I know the sine and cosine are equal, therefore the tangent is going to be 1. So we have pi over 4, but we also know that there's another place around the circle where the sine and cosine are equal. Here they're both positive square root of 2 over 2. Here they're both negative square root of 2 over 2. So right here we get our other candidate. Remember, here we have negative square root of 2 over 2, negative square root of 2 over 2. And here for pi over 4, we have the positive versions. In both cases, tangent is sine over cosine, so it's going to be 1. All right, so we can start with 3x equals pi over 4 and 5 pi over 4. All right, so if I go one full circle around, so I'm going to add pi over 4 to 2 pi. So let me show you a little bit of the arithmetic here. So that's pi over 4 plus 2 pi, which is of course 8 pi over 4. So I get 9 pi over 4. And the same with 5 pi over 4, I can go one full circle around and I get 5 pi over 4 plus 2 pi, which is also 8 pi over 4, so we get 13 pi over 4. So here we are going to have 9 pi over 4, 13 pi over 4. But remember, we can go around 3 times. So if I go one more full circle, in other words, add 2 pi to this 9 pi over 4 again, I get 9 pi over 4 plus 8 pi over 4, which is 17 pi over 4. And if I go one full circle around and add 2 pi to 13 pi over 4 now, I get 21 pi over 4, because 13 pi over 4 plus 8 pi over 4 is 21 pi over 4. And notice if I go around again, I'll go over the 6 pi limit. So 17 pi over 4 plus 8 pi over 4 would be 25 pi over 4, which is of course more than 6 pi, because we know 24 pi over 4 is 6 pi. So we stop on both of those. We have all the solutions for 3x. Now all we need to do is find the solutions for x, which of course means, remember here we have 2, 4, 6 different equations. 3x equals the first one, 3x equals the second one, 3x, etc., all the way up to here. So we're just solving 6 equations simultaneously by multiplying both sides by 1/3. So we get x is either pi over 12 or 5 pi over 12, because remember, these are values of 3x. We're interested in the values of x. So we get, don't need equal anymore. So The next one will be 9 pi over 12, and then 13 pi over 12, 17 pi over 12, and 21 pi over 12. Now we always want the simplest form of every answer. We notice that 3 goes into 9 3 times, into 12 4 times, and 3 goes into 21 7 times, into 12 4 times. So now we can write all our solutions in simplified format in our solution set. So we have pi over 12, 5 pi over 12, then we have 3 pi over 4, 13 pi over 12, 17 pi over 12, and 7 pi over 4. And that should wrap it up. So just remember, always look for your limiting values first, then go around the circle as many times as that limit allows. Find the solutions for the multiple angle first, and then multiply both sides by 1 over that factor, whatever that may be, to get your actual solution. Sometimes this factor is actually between 0 and 1. Like if this were 1/3, I would just multiply both sides by 3 instead of by multiplying by 1/3. So you have to be flexible. And that's basically how you approach these. All right, so be safe until our next video.